SafeText is a tool for determining whether the user of a phone is currently operating a vehicle. The current implementation is in Java, which could be easily ported to the growing user base of smartphones using Google's Android OS. It works by performing several simultaneous checks that should be exclusive to a car's operator, as distinct from its passengers. Assuming 100% accuracy, this brings a powerful benefit, preventing the dangerous practice of texting while driving, while still allowing a car's passengers to use the services they are accustomed to without hindrance. Due to difficulties in securing test hardware, our team settled on using a mobile mini QWERTY keyboard to simulate keyboard input, and a Nintendo Wii controller to gather accelerometer data. Our system performs 3 checks and outputs for each the likelihood that the user is currently driving. The first check performed is an analysis of the typing patterns of the driver. While texting with only one hand while driving, attention will be shared between the phone and the road. SafeText looks for short sequences of characters entered with pauses between them. If there is a sequence of short sequences of characters with pauses after them, we can be fairly certain that the user is driving. Here, you can see a driver attempting to use a typical mini QWERTY keyboard to input text into an emulated Android phone while driving. As you can see, his typing rate is erratic because of his split attention, leading the system to determine that he is indeed driving. His passenger, however, seems to have no problem using the system. The second check attempts to use the phone's onboard capabilities to detect if it is being held against a steering wheel. It does this by analyzing the output of the phone's accelerometer to see if it is detecting a series of small vibrations within a certain range, typical of what would be produced by a car's steering wheel. Here, we see a user attempting to hold his phone against the steering wheel so that he can maintain some measure of control over the car while continuing to hold onto his phone. However, the vibration coming from the steering wheel transfers into his phone, producing accelerometer data we can measure and compare against expected values. However, these vibrations eventually prove to be too small to reliably measure using the Wiimote's accelerometer. Given that this accelerometer is of similar quality to those found in popular smartphones, such as the iPhone or the G1, we can thus conclude for future research that this is a poor sensing methodology. Lastly, the system uses the phone's accelerometer to detect certain gestures typical of a user who is holding a phone while turning a steering wheel. As you can see, as the driver tries to hold onto his phone while turning, the phone moves in an arc along with the steering wheel. This motion is often repeated several times during the course of a single turn, giving us a simple, easily recognizable gesture to check against. Our system can detect left and right turning arcs. Individually, none of these checks are perfect, but when taken together, they can provide a reasonable degree of accuracy for determining whether or not a phone's user is currently attempting to operate a vehicle. This is a vast improvement over current solutions, which simply inhibit the phone's capabilities while moving above a certain speed, which has the negative side effect of unnecessarily hindering the car's passengers.